want to make. All right. Yeah, it sounds like Daniel's there. Jamie, would you please open for us in prayer?
Sure. So, Lord, we just want to say thank you. Thank you for the amazing technologies that we can be all around the country and all around the world and be sharing in real time at this time. And Lord, I want to thank you for each one that gets to speak during this time. And Lord, for all of us that are hearing, help our hearing, Lord. Help us to have our belief rise up, to believe that all we need to do is stay close to you and just don't quit with this company, Lord, because it's doing some cool things and you're all over it. So we thank you for it, Lord, and get our minds perked up and help us to be wide awake and all ears. And we thank you for this opportunity in Jesus' precious name. Amen.
Amen. Okay. Thank you so much, Jamie. And Jamie, why don't you just take a minute or two, up to 3 minutes, and tell us what you like best about convention.
Oh, I knew you were going to ask me that. And there were several things. I don't know how to do that in just a few minutes, but let me tell you one of the things that I thought was very cool, and that was seeing you up on the stage, our fearless leader, and just thinking about the whole team of people that are enjoying better health and better wealth and better relationships because of you, Bob. And I just wanted to say thank you very much. And thanks for everyone that's on the team. And another thing that was really cool was seeing that huge stream of Emerald directors up there. All those people that walked across the stage. I got a video after I got sat down and I started videoing it for everyone else to see. So I got maybe half of the people, and there was just this big long stream of people that are doing it. And that just tells me that we can all do it. And there's just this huge opportunity out there. And the other thing I really liked, and I recorded the whole thing, and that was Alan Blaine sharing about belief and the 5 different levels of belief, and how it can start at the very bottom and say it's impossible, I can't do it, to at the very top saying it's wonderful and I can absolutely do it. And then his quote from Ronald Reagan saying when someone asked him how he got to be president, saying that I got there by listening to the people who believed I could.
Wow.
And talked about that for every part of his life.
Wow.
People said that he couldn't. And there he surrounded himself by people who said, yes, you can.
Excellent.
And that's what we need to do.
Very, very powerful. Very, very powerful.
Yes.
Mary, thank you so much, Jamie. And you were one of the Emerald directors on that stage, correct? You and Carol?
Oh, I ran up there first thing. I was so excited.
Good. We're proud of you, definitely. And hopefully we'll have a lot more of the team up there next year. And thank you for sharing that. That is a very powerful thing, to listen to the people. Jerry, I see Jerry's on here, and he listened to his mom, was one of those people. He listened to a lot of people that encouraged him, but a good point that Alan was making, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, Mary Antoine, I didn't warn you ahead, but would you be willing to share 2 or 3 minutes of what impressed you the most about convention? Mary, would that be okay?
Sure.
Okay.
Hello,
good.
everyone.
Morning, Mary. Good to see you.
Hi, good to see you too. So basically, first off, I mentioned to Barbara and in one of our calls that this is not my first business I was a part of, that I'm a part of. The one that I was a part of before. I was in it for 10 years. And never have I ever been to a location for a convention like we did last weekend. The event was awesome. No, sorry. The event, what, you want to show yourself?
Yeah, that's fine.
No.
Okay,
You want to come?
if she wants to.
Okay, wipe your mouth a little bit. Wipe your mouth a little bit and then come. I'm sorry about that.
That's okay.
Yes, so, well, maybe later he will.
Good.
Yeah, so basically, the location was amazing, beautiful. And it was really nice to actually finally meet everybody face to face instead of just Zoom. But as far as the speakers, very encouraging. I love the fact that Allison and Gordon walked across stage, and Barbara, I saw her on stage. Bob Pearson, I saw you on stage. So I know that we're a part of a wonderful and blessed team. And yeah, I mean, it was a great weekend. I enjoyed it. I already registered for next year. I'm excited for next year already. So yeah, so I mean, I'm not gonna say much, but that's what I have to say for now.
Okay. Well, and that was your very first NeoLife convention, right, Mary?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
And tell everyone where you're from.
Well, I'm from Queens, New York.
Okay. So we were delighted to have Mary there because, like she said, we've seen her on Zoom many times. But this first time we get to give her a hug.
Yes.
and Mary was just like she looks now. Big smile. She's a wonderful, wonderful person, and she's a manager.
Thank you.
She's a manager in Barbara's team, and
Yes.
we enjoy her immensely. And she's
Yes.
helped family members. So thank you, Mary.
You're welcome. And I'm manager now, but soon to be to increase in the ranks.
Okay, good. So your next step is
Yes.
senior manager, right?
Correct.
Yes. Okay, very good. Okay, we're looking forward to you advancing too. And
Thank you.
Thank you. Daniel, can I share screen? Because I have PowerPoint to share from convention now. Is it okay to share screen, Daniel?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
Okay. So hopefully you guys will enjoy this. It's kind of a fun thing. Marina helped me put this together late about 2 nights ago. So we'll give this a try here. It's a real fun recapture of convention, complete with country music from Nashville style. So hopefully this will work. That's the Wisdom Builder team, by the way. Hanson family, all that family at convention. That's our field director, Ashley Peebles. Well, hope you guys enjoyed that. Did you like that? That's a recapturing of some of the events at convention. And hopefully you could see how much fun people were having, lots of big smiles. And can you guys see something that says San Antonio right now?
No, not on your screen.
Could you hear, were you able to see all those pictures, hopefully?
Yes.
Okay, good, good. I must be doing something wrong then. You can't see a video that says San Antonio right now?
No.
The kid in the car, and then there's some pictures on the side, and it's all kind of mushing together.
Okay.
Stop share and share again.
Okay, thanks, Marina. That's my IT coach. Marina's brilliant. Okay, maybe we can see it now, hopefully. And then Alion, I hope you're ready. There's two things and then you'll be on, Alion. So now can you see something that says San Antonio?
Yes.
Okay, so here's a brief clip for next year.
There it goes.
So that's the next big event we're all excited about. And Alion, would you, I think we have a message from Ashley, and you can either go right now, Alion, or after Ashley. Alion, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Okay.
You can, Bob, the choice is yours.
Okay,
I place it in the hands of Bob.
Okay, why don't you go ahead, Alion, and share what you liked about convention and why you're coming back and what they need to do by tomorrow to get half price. Could you tell us that? You look great this morning.
No problem.
As usual, you look bright and cheery.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, hi everyone. Good day. My name is Nicole Tony Morris. So if you see Nicole Morris, it's all me. Okay. I just wanted to start by just letting everyone know the intent and why it has motivated me. Attending the convention has motivated me to even do more. Now, the intent of me being in NeoLife is the health part of it, because I was really seeking a better a way of life in terms of my health and so, right? And I had a conversation with my mom up to last night, and I just wanted to share something that my grandmother said. I mean, I'm going in deep, but I'm leading up to why I am in your life and why I am going to attend the Impact Summit next year.
Yeah.
Now, having a conversation with my mom told me that my grandmother, before she died, she said if money could buy health, she would spend as much as she can to get a longer time on this earth. She said that on her deathbed. And I mean, that was a conversation. I've never heard that before. And that was a conversation that I had with my mom, and it really touched my heart so much so that it motivated me to even share more with people in terms of, optimum health. So attending the convention really put into perspective why I'm in NeoLife. NeoLife is clean supplements. It is worth, when you spend your money, it is worth the money. Nowhere else have I ever been buying supplements and being compensated for the purchase. Nowhere else have I ever seen anyone lose weight or go on that health journey or wellness journey and have been compensated for it. And that in itself was so amazing, because in the convention, I saw a number of persons have gone into the weight loss challenge.
Yeah.
I mean, they were paid for it.
Yeah.
So NeoLife has quite a lot of opportunities in terms of health, wellness, as well as wealth in terms of finances,
Yes.
right? And the
Yes.
stories that I heard of a lot of people who came from very, very humble beginnings
Yes.
and really have that freedom to do the things that they want when they want. Everybody wants that type of life, including myself.
Good. Good.
You know, so one of the things that I found was really impactful for me was the camaraderie that we experienced down there. From the time I went to the register, well, getting into the hotel was just amazing, because everybody, I think most of the people who are around me know that I'm crazy over plants and I'm a flower fauna person. So I was just going crazy, taking pictures, doing videos. And so the hotel was amazing. It was beautiful. When I went down to register, the kind of greeting that I got, it was just so pleasant. It was just like the guy who was at the booth is as though he knew me before I came there. You know, and that's something that really impressed me. And in addition, while we were at the first session, the kind of advice, the kind of support, the kind of ideas that many of those who have reached in very, I mean, very high levels of the business, it was just like, there's no competition, there's no selfishness. Everybody was just, you know, this is, you can try this, you can do this. There was this guy from South Africa, his name is Tony. I will always remember him from the day we were there until, and I'm hoping to see him again, because he gave us a talk about how to, you know, invite people, do how to motivate your people when they come on, they sign on and so on. And this is something that I've never seen in any other business, because everything is about competition in business life. So this was something that was extremely amazing. The ambience was wonderful. The people were friendly. You know, the support, the motivation, it was just amazing. I think for me, I feel that attending the conference, or should I say the Impact Summits, those who have not been there, because it was my first time, but those who have not been there, it is something that you should not miss, because it shines a different light into health and, again, the business part of NeoLife. And again, you in life, you need people to support you, and that is what they have. You know, so it was, you felt as though you were family in the group that you were in when we were there last week. It was just amazing just to meet Barbara for the first time and see how much we clicked. And everyone was just, it was like a family. You know, for next year, our Impact Summit will be in San Antonio, Texas. You should not miss it. The tickets are half price now until the 7th, which is tomorrow. So I'm asking you all that you do your best and get your ticket as soon as possible at a very reasonable price, so that we can go out when we get down to San Antonio next year. We can go out and we can spend some more money eating food. Okay, so to get those tickets, what you do is go onto your shop or your website, and you go to shops, and you click and you're going to see Impact Summit and you purchase the ticket right there. Okay. So again, I just want to thank all of you who really made me feel at home. And I want to thank NeoLife for the experience that I got and understanding what health and business is all about. And I look forward to successes. I'm a promoter now, but trust me, things are going to change since I have attended that the conference. So convention, sorry. So thank you so much for having me on. Thank you, Bob, for giving me the opportunity to share my experience. And yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Alion. We were delighted to have you there. And see, Alion's part of Barbara's group, and quite a few of the New York people is their very first. And Alion, not to take too much more time, but I think you told me you felt very at home, very comfortable. Even the first time, you felt very warmly at the convention, right?
Yes, Bob, I really did. It was amazing. It was amazing. It's nice to be around people who are genuinely friendly and, down to earth and cool and calm about everything and can laugh. I took pictures with people I never knew. I can't even remember their names.
That place.
And it was conversations, and it was so great to see that I met some of my Trinidadian counterparts from NeoLife. They I think it's Canadians. And we were talking so much about back home. It was just so exciting. So I'm looking forward to seeing them next year again.
Great. And that hotel is just massive. It's one of the biggest in all the USA. And the first night I ran into Alion and Cecile, right? Remember? And then, what Alion was saying, how friendly the people are. We got photographed with Charlotte Shelton, a 2 diamond. Do you remember the lady we got photographed with?
Yes.
And, she is so far above our ranking of us.
Yes.
But it shows the warmth in the company, because Charlotte is a 2 diamond. That means she sells $250,000 per month minimum. And look how warm she was. And so we're so happy you got to come, Alion, and thank you for sharing with us. We appreciate it greatly, and for telling everyone. You guys, what Alion said, tomorrow is the last day you can get it at half price. So make sure you get registered, you guys, because it's going to be a blast, right, Alion?
Yes, I look forward to it. Yes, it's going to be. Yes.
Me too. Okay, well, thank you, Alion. Appreciate your input.
You're welcome, Bob.
Sharing,
Have a good
sharing
one.
your experience. Josh, would you mind going now? Josh is a very successful man from Florida. He's a political refugee from Oregon, moved to Florida with his family, his beautiful wife, Bethany, and their children. Josh, can you come and share 2, 3, 4 minutes on what you liked best about convention? Are you there?
Yeah, happy to, Bob.
Okay.
So this was my first conference, and one of the highlights is I got to go with my father-in-law, Kevin. So that made it. Even if the conference was a dud, it would have been a great time. But the conference was far from a dud. It was very inspiring. It was very educational. It was a great team building opportunity. And I'd say the 3 highlights. There's a lot of takeaways. I filled my notebook with all sorts of notes and just things that people would say that would, I could go back and try to use those words when talking to people. So just learning like what works and everything like that. But for me, the scientific advisory board members' presentations were by far the highlight for me as far as the education was concerned, because I just loved the NeoLife difference. That presentation was fantastic because there's a lot of supplements and vitamins and a lot of things out there, and it was so great just to kind of go category by category what makes NeoLife unique and what gives it its power and its benefit compared to the competition. And then just going into, of course, the reveal of Upbeat and all the science behind that, and then the just the bundle solution, or the bundle packs with the solutions and all the science behind, why this one's for immunity and why this one's for, all these different health benefits. Is one of those things I wish that we could bottle all of that and somehow just download that to people that we're wanting to talk to, so that they could get all that. So that was incredibly educational. I found the challenge winners' stories inspiring,
Yes.
and it was so great to see their success, and then to imagine myself and others taking part in those challenges and seeing those kind of results. And I think when John Winter said to Jamie in front of the whole conference, he said, Jamie, you literally saved my life. And I thought that was such a powerful summation of the transformation that he'd undergone. And I think so powerful too for those of us that are newer to the company, just to recognize that that's really what we're selling is, the product, the business, but really what we're selling is people's ability to change their life and their health. And, potentially, like with John, to save them from an early demise of, obesity and heart issues and all of that. So that was incredibly inspiring. And then the last thing that I loved with the team building, like it was said earlier, was just seeing everybody in the same room. Bob, when you had us get together Friday night, that was just wonderful to get to, see everybody face to face. It was wonderful to hear stories and of success and what works. And, being newer to the team, it's nice to, not try to reinvent the wheel and just learn, okay, what are people doing that works that I can then go and try. So it was a fantastic weekend. And I was really appreciative to be there for the first time.
Thank you, Josh. It's exciting to have someone brand new come, and Josh has beautiful family. He's done very well in his career. And so it's nice to have a young man come and get a view and be impressed by what he saw. And so we're very happy to have Josh there. And we'll go now to his father-in-law. I've known his father-in-law for about 42 years. And we got a beautiful purebred Appaloosa from Josh's father-in-law many years ago. And his father-in-law, Kevin, has a wonderful wife named Janet. And Josh's father-in-law, I just must tell you, he just radiates credibility and integrity. And he has close relationship with his kids, his grandkids. So Kevin, could you take 3-4 minutes and share what you like best about convention?
I'll give it a shot. Josh is kind of a tough act to follow.
He is.
Early on too.
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You're up for it. You're up for it.
The hotel was too big for me. I got lost every day. But it was worth putting up with that to get to be a part of the convention. For me, it was definitely the scientific advisory board members.
Wow.
Were just so impressive. And, I'm already a huge fan of NeoLife and the way they do business, but here the scientific advisory board, I didn't know I could be even more impressed with the company, but I am. And what everybody's saying, how, we don't look at each other as competitors, that's all true. Just people in NeoLife are just awesome. I don't know what else to say about that, but and it was good it's always good to hear people say, boy, this changed my life. And Josh is right when he says that's really what we're trying to do, is change people's lives. So I guess beyond the scientific advisory board members, it was just seeing more and more confirmation of what a great bunch this is to be tied into, and can be proud to sell it. I was invited to an Amway meeting a lifetime ago, and they were really pushing the business, and they didn't speak at all about the products or how good they were. You know, it was just, here's a way to make money and it's great. And I like that I can be excited about the quality of the products of NeoLife. And that's what I'm trying to push, not the system. So anyway, I talk too much. I'm going to say goodbye now. Thanks.
Thanks, Kevin. Kevin and Janet are brand new directors. Josh is a brand new senior manager, and just a delight that they could both come to this convention. We're so happy about that. And I think there was, you know, I'll just quickly say, the company, to show the depth of their commitment to quality product that changes lives. You know, you only have so much time in a convention, and they devoted 4 sessions, 4 to science in the product. Okay, so that shows heavy commitment to products that change people's lives. And several of you mentioned different teams, the family spirit. I just want to tell you this real quick. Please write this down, especially the New York team, because it's not too far for you guys. November 11th through 13th, there's going to be a team retreat. I'm hoping Josh and Bethany can come too, because it's in Alabama, so it's not too far from them either, or the New York group. But Alan and Nicole Blaine are having a retreat Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and their training is phenomenal. Those guys are growing really fast. And you can get, it's November 11th through 13th. And our team is invited because those guys are so nice. They open their stuff up to all the different teams. So November 11th through 13th, I can't encourage you enough to come. And you get all the details, wbretreat.com, wbretreat.com. That stands for Wisdom Builders. And I'll tell you everything you're going to learn, what the registration fee is, the location and all that. So the people in our team who earn the most, who have the biggest businesses, are the ones who've been to the most conventions or the most Bald Eagle retreats, which is Louis Smith team, or Wisdom Builder retreats. Because at those events, Jerry Brasfield, who's on right now, we're very fortunate to have Jerry with us. You'll hear Jerry say this, and Josh Clark would say this. All the top leaders in the company say that at these weekend events like convention or a Wisdom Builder retreat or a Bald Eagle retreat, that's where lives get changed and decisions get made. So you guys, November 11th through 13th, I'm planning on being there. Hope a lot of you will come. Okay, thank you, Kevin. And
can I
okay, yes.
This morning when I got up, I thought I got to be sure and comment on the quality of the production of the whole thing. The team that put it on must be fabulous. I mean, they were fabulous in putting that on. I thought it was extremely professional.
Okay,
anyway.
Good, thank you. And on that note, I should honor dear sweet Marina. She's just a phenomenal person, because she made that slideshow that we did much better through all the effort to get the soundtrack in there. So thank you, Marina. And now we'll go to Allison. Now, Allison, this was her first convention, and she is a rising star. She brought her husband. I think he enjoyed it. And she is a Emerald director on her way to world team. So Allison, take 3, 4, 5 minutes. Tell us what you and Gordon like best, please.
Hello, everyone. This is Allison Wilson from Queens, New York. I am forever grateful to be part of this NeoLife family. Over 4 years ago, when I got into NeoLife, it was all about improving my health, which has significantly improved, and to share with family and friends. While doing that, I began to get little checks that gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And then I earned title of director and then Emerald director. So what was my takeaway from the convention? One, when I went to register, I can recall the receptionist says to me, and welcome, where are you from? I said, New York. And Louis Smith turned and hugged me. Just, I was like, wow, this is very impressive, That warmth and that friendship continued throughout the stay. Everyone was so friendly, invited. It made us feel very comfortable because over the years, or maybe the past 2 years or so, it was pretty much seeing persons on Zoom or reviewing video. So it was very nice getting to touch and to hug and to feel each other. Next, my husband accompanied me. Didn't see it coming, but it happened, and I celebrate that. I remember when I told him I'm going to convention, I wasn't so sure that he was going to come along with me. And then he said to me, what happened to me? I said, you come in? He says, yes. And I'm telling you, it was the best decision for both of us, We paid attention, I can speak for myself and him, to the scientific advisory board. My medical background, I always want to know more what it is that they did, with these products, that we get these amazing results, not only on myself and those who I shared with, but of some of the stories that I listened on YouTube or I've read in magazine, or even that those who displayed same or shared similar sentiments during their on stage presentation. They took notes, and we went back into the hotel, and me and my husband, we took out our notebook. We began to be like researchers, researching for our own truth. And I said, the truth is there. The scientists did the work, we just have to use the products and talk about it. So I gained more confidence to talk about it. My husband got more confidence to talk about it, and he's beginning to talk to his friends and his family. Also, I want to be thankful for the other downline from New York who accompanied us. Thank you again to Barbara. Thanks to Bob. I always say to my husband, Bob is a man with a good heart. Well, guess what? I found everyone there with a good heart because it wasn't competition. It was all about helping each other to give knowledge, understanding, and to impact lives, and at the same time, be paid for it. What more excitement can we ask for? With that, when we got home, I said, okay, before I got home, I said, Texas is the next stop. So guess what? Myself and my husband, we got our ticket already. We are ready. So I got fired up there before I left, and I'm more fired up here down in New York. And I'm talking about it. I already have small groups scheduled, meeting that we're going to keep sharing this amazing story. My heartfelt thanks to Claudette, who introduced me. Thanks to God Almighty. I always say to Barbara and to everyone, this was divine intervention, and NeoLife is going to be with me for life. Thank you, Bob, for the opportunity. And I said to Barbara, I said, watch me next year. I'm Sapphire Director. Thank you.
Thank you, Allison. And was Gordon quite impressed? Did you feel quite impressed with what he saw?
Of course, Bob, he got his ticket for the next one. He didn't miss it. He paid attention, He loved the scientists.
Wow.
And the slide, the PowerPoint, the visual.
Yeah.
And of course, not only to hear it. So we're looking forward that, we can see those on YouTube, to continue to provide that education to talk to. But yeah, he loved it. He's coming again.
Good, that's wonderful. That tells the story. If they're willing to pay and come again, that tells it. Well, Allison is a very inspiring person. I had the privilege of being in her home there, her and Gordon's home with Barbara a few years ago. And Allison is very gifted at inviting people to events. She had over 100 people for her birthday. Was it 128? Allison came, something like that?
Yeah, it's over 100. Yeah.
Yeah. So Allison is a real connector, a gifted communicator. She inspires us. And next year, Sapphire, right, Barbara? I mean, Allison, by convention. Okay, good. And she has a gal named Cecile. Is Cecile Joseph your best? She got to 2,000, right, before?
Yes, and it took me about 3 years to get Cecile on board,
Okay.
But I never stopped, I never pressured her, but I just kept sharing and talking to her, about it. And I'm forever grateful she's part of the team and she sponsored Allian, I also want to say that I'm forever grateful to have Maylene on the team. And she said something to me, I sponsored her. I thank her for her honesty over the years, she bought a lot of products. And she said she came to convention for just to explore another city, to have a vacation. But after she shared with me that after she listened to the presentation, she said, I finally believe. Now I said, oh my God, all those years she didn't believe, but she supported it. But I'm grateful for her honesty, you know? She was honesty and she felt comfortable to share that with me and the rest of the team. So kudos to her.
Yes, yes. Okay, thank you so much, Allison. Thank you for everyone who has shared. I have one announcement, and then we're going to go to a very special guest, just a tremendous, tremendous individual who's been kind enough to come on and address us. And you want to take notes because he is outstanding. But the announcement I have is that at 11 o'clock our time today, which New York time, I guess that's 2 o'clock, we'll have a nutrition training. And one of the things in that training will be how Stanford University, supposedly elite and so on, how they used to mock us, but now they've adopted much of our philosophy. It's just incredible. So that's what you'll be hearing at 11 o'clock West Coast time. And write this down, please, because it's a different Zoom ID. You can get on that nutrition training by going to 963-644-1807, password ATP. So it's 963-644-1807, password ATP. Okay, with that, I'm going to introduce our next speaker. And our next speaker we're ever so fortunate to have is Jerry Brasfield, the owner of our company. Very fortunate to have Jerry. And I'm just going to tell you a few things so don't take too long, and then turn it over to him. He started at about age 19. He came from a financially challenged family. He borrowed $50 from his little brother to start. But by about, I don't know the age, I think he was 27 or 28, he was worth $5 million. Okay. Now, if you do the math with an inflation calculator, that 5 million in 1967, I think it was, is equal to about 29 million in today's dollars. So that is just staggering growth, staggering. But what I really want to introduce him as, although he's magnificent in the business realm, I would say, I would use these 4 words to describe him. He's wise, very wise. He's experienced, tremendous experience. He's very strong. I mean, strong, but possibly his crowning virtue, I don't know if it's his wisdom or his strength, but one of his crowning virtues is he's kind. He's a kind man. He doesn't project himself as a great person. He is a hot shot, a big shot, a giant in many, many ways, but he does not project himself like that. He's not arrogant, he's humble. And I think one of his main virtues is he is a kind person. So with that, let's welcome the owner of the NeoLife company, a wonderful, wonderful man, Mr. Jerry Brasfield.
Can you hear me, Bob?
I can hear you. I can hear you just perfect. We can see you just perfect.
Okay, thank you. Well, it's a pleasure for me to be invited to take part in your meeting here today. And I was happy when I got the call from Kendra, and she asked if I could fill in for her. So I said yes, and here I am. So first of all, I really enjoyed all of your comments and the comments of the team members and those who shared this morning. Wow, so down to earth, sincere, humble, articulate, and just doing the things that cause our our wonderful NeoLife story to be shared right around the world. So I hope that my computer here is said it was kind of sideways there a little bit. So I don't want any help in looking a little off kilter. So
You look great. You look great.
okay. Well, just listening to the feedback from convention, I'm really I missed being there. It just didn't work out for me. But I'm going to make sure that I'm at the Austin. Is it Austin, Texas? No, San Antonio, Texas.
Yeah, San
Right?
Antonio.
San Antonio, Texas. I want to make sure that I'm there, and we'll see you all in person, if not before, of course. And some of you are coming to the leadership school, I hope, and I will be there in a short time. Bob, what a great job you're doing in leading the team. It was commented on earlier, but your congratulations too on your recent qualification of 3 Ruby director. That I don't know if your team knows that, but that is quite an accomplishment.
Thank you.
And the skill set and attributes that you have put into practice to get to 3 Ruby will take you as far as you want to go in the business.
Great.
And just know that you don't have to learn new skills to get there. You have the skills, or you wouldn't be this far.
Oh,
And you're it's amazing for me to have watched your personal growth over the years that I've known you. And we all have our gifts. It was mentioned this morning by others, but God created us and gave us certain gifts, and we don't all have the same gifts, because that would not work. We, as a family and as a community of people, we need all of the gifts working. And this structure that NeoLife has in its compensation plan allows us to take advantage of everyone's gift as we journey through life. Our gift might be it might be speaking, it might be training, it just might be listening to somebody and being sympathetic and hearing their story. I was at a dinner not that long ago, and it was a group of men, and I looked around and I noticed that everybody was talking at the same time. And you've probably been a part of this type of a gathering. But I stopped everybody and I said, I've just made an observation here that next time we get together, we have to bring some listeners, because nobody's listening to anybody else. You're all talking. So they thought that was funny, but it's so true. We need listeners. We need people who encourage us. We can be discouraged by so easily in life. And as I have said a few times in my years of talking to people, I've said that I came from a family, as Bob pointed out, we were middle class at best and lower, at times lower, and at times maybe middle class, and at times maybe a little above, but no extra money. And so when I joined the business, by the way, Bob asked me to give my history. So there's about 63 years of history here that he wants me to slide into maybe 30 minutes. So I have to cover some ground. So That's not going to be easy. But anyway, I was introduced, as you have heard, to the business. We'll call it network marketing. It's been called so many things over the years, multi-level network marketing. I think it was just called direct sales when I first was introduced. But no matter what label you put on it, it had the feature of being able to not only benefit from your own sales and efforts, but to earn wholesale profits, we'll call it, off of the efforts of others. And so I was introduced, my brother Bob and I attended a meeting. We were picked up by a friend of ours. He had a car. So he picked us up and took us to Tulare, California. I was in Porterville, lived in Porterville with my family. And I don't know, that's 20 miles away. So we went there to the community building where people could have meetings. It was a community hall or center. And the meeting was put on. I watched it and I liked it. I liked what I saw. I then realized I didn't have any money at that time. I had a car myself, which I had to keep running. It was an old car with a lot of problems. And I also, would spend my money where Bob had no car. And I was making $1.25 an hour working at a Chevron station, part-time in the evenings. And Bob worked across the street at a television repair shop, and he only made 70 cents an hour. So if you, now you have to put a time value on money, but that's not very much money. So for Bob to be able to pay $50 for himself, loan me $50 and earn that money at 70 cents an hour, first of all, I couldn't believe that Bob even loaned me the money. We didn't have, Bob is very tight with his money and very careful with it. And for him to loan me that much money on the spur of the moment, I think that was the first, and maybe not the first, but it was certainly divine intervention. Okay, so now he says today that maybe I haven't paid him back, but I know that can't be true because I know he wouldn't let me get away with it this long. So anyway, I started from that beginning, and my first disappointment was that Bob ran to our grandfather who lived a few blocks away. And when I got up to go visit him and sell him some product, Bob had beat me there. I had a car, I drove over, but Bob had got on his bicycle. He went there, he sold it. And I actually felt at that time that, oh, wow, Bob is just going to beat me to all these people we know. And, and I felt discouraged because I didn't get that. It was a 2-month supply of nutrition for $30, $29.95. So now you want to bring that forward and multiply $30. It was one multivitamin and 2 mineral tablets in a little package, and it was 2 months supply, and it would be about $300 in today's money. So $300. So the price of supplementation has come down over the years, and of course the quality has gone way up. So now the reason I went for this business is one reason I needed some extra money. The other reason was a few years earlier, when I was about 14 years old, my mother had networked around. I'd gone to the doctors and would get tested for having allergies to certain foods or environmental things. And and it caused me to have severe asthma. So doctors could not help me. The medications they gave me at the time would not would wouldn't give me relief, and would side effects would be very bad. So I gave up. She gave up on that, and she found through networking, not network marketing, but just networking with other mothers in the Porterville, California area. She found a mother with a son about my age, and he had benefited from some very crude, we'll call it, food supplements. These were a liquid multivitamin that tastes terrible, as bad as you can imagine, because in those days they made no effort to disguise the taste. And then it was cod liver oil right directly out of the fish. So that also tasted terrible. But she made me, my mother was a strong woman, and she made me every day take a spoonful of this liquid, thick, terrible multivitamin. And she made me take two tablespoonfuls of cod liver oil and choke it down with water. It was horrible. If she didn't force me, I would not do it. But long story short, my health started to improve, and I became a believer. It was mentioned in the by others before me today that to tell your story. And I will tell you, the most powerful thing you can do is to have a story and to tell the story. And I still tell that story today. I still tell about how these products caused my body, by the way, my body. And that's the miracle, our miracle body that God gave us. I happen to be a believer, and I believe the Bible, and I believe that what God says is the inspired word through the Bible. I believe that, and I believe that He created us, and so really the credit or glory goes to God, because God created us, it says, in His image, and He created our body so that if we simply provide the proper nutrients, and this should come out of our foods, but unfortunately it does not, because of the choice of foods we have, the amount of food now in order to get the proper amount of nutrients, and the amount you would have to eat. I mean, when they say 9 to 12 servings of grains and equal amounts of fruits and vegetables, you just can't eat that much. And in today's today's nutritional components in the foods we eat, there is a shortage of nutrients. And that's where our business is, because we then make up or fulfill that shortfall, and we supplement food supplements. Okay, food made from food, so we supplement it, and along with our diet that we eat, these nutrients then go into our miraculous body, and our body actually does the work. It isn't our supplements doing the work. That's just the nutrients that God created us to need, and those are the building blocks, the proteins and the carbohydrates and a little bit of the fats and sugar and so on. We require some of these things, and then all the nutrients and micronutrients that come out of our food. For example, just an example, I like to think about, you remember the craze many years ago where where beta carotene was brought on the market. It was made synthetically, and this beta carotene was an isolated ingredient or nutrient in the carotenoid family, and we had at the time I had distributors contacting me saying, why don't we have beta carotene? Everybody's looking for beta carotene. The scientific advisory board under the direction of Dr. Arthur First tested the synthetic beta carotenes and found them not to be effective at all, no value. Yet millions of dollars worth of these were being sold. And so the SAB would not okay us selling. I wanted to sell beta carotene. Everybody wanted it. I didn't have the proper understanding of the carotenoid family. So then I was educated, we'll call it. My ignorance was replaced with some understanding of the carotenoid family. So, for example, in one raw carrot, and maybe even a slightly cooked carrot, there's over 600 carotenoids in a family of carotenoids. And one of those in that carrot is beta carotene. So now by extracting our products, our food supplements from the human diet, from the fruits and vegetables with color, and from the oils of soy, wheat and rice, all of these things go into making this powerful product that when we give it to our body, then our miraculous body that God created goes to work and it heals itself. And we got to be careful that we don't misrepresent that. We don't want to say that the NeoLife product did this or that. No, you'll be totally misleading people. You have to know that they need to know that their body will take care of them if they will give it the right supply. Just like your automobile needs gasoline, and when it says gasoline, it doesn't mean to put diesel in your car. Yet that's what we do with our bodies. It says, give us fruits and vegetables, and we put ice cream and apple pie in our body, or chocolate, or soft drinks, or something else that's not good for us. So, and you do that to your car, it will die. You do that to your body, and it will die. Okay, and so understand what's happening here with our bodies, and weight loss. My goodness, isn't this a simple thing? Weight loss is we require a certain amount of energy to function. If you don't eat food, you don't have any energy. Okay. Now, how much food do we need? We need the amount that we burn up through energy, walking our life, just living our life. We burn energy at night when we sleep, we exercise, we do these things. But if we keep putting in more and more food or energy and we don't burn that energy, we start to build fat in areas that we don't want it. Our stomachs, our rear ends, our legs, our arms, we add on fat. It's very simple. Now, fortunately, in our automobile, it only holds maybe 20 gallons of gasoline, and it won't take any more. And so you have to burn it off before you can put more in. God didn't create us that way in our bodies. He let us take in as much as we want, and we have freedom of choice. And then we get out of kilter. So now I don't know how I got off on that, but let's go back to some of the struggles that everybody has. You can imagine if I didn't have $50 to join, then I didn't have extra money to promote the business. So I started with friends and family and people I knew. And guess what? All the people I knew that were 18, 19, 20 years old, 21, whatever. When I went to them, they had no money. They were like me. They couldn't afford $30 for the product, and everybody they knew couldn't afford the products. So, and I had people tell me, my best friend at the time was a young boy named Roy Phillips, and he went down to the local drugstore in Porterville, and he found some synthetic vitamin C down there that was cheaper than what I was selling. And he came back and gave me a lecture about how I'm never going to be successful. And he told me, you got to, you got to have common sense, and you got to understand that how can you sell something when they're selling it, down in the store for 30% less or whatever. And so he just discouraged me. He had the gift of discouragement. Okay. And so he discouraged me to the point that it took me a while to get over it. I went down and I looked for myself, but you know something? I knew there's something to this. First of all, I knew I needed some extra money, and I knew that supplements had helped my health, and I just stuck to my story. And I decided, and I don't know where this wisdom must have come from God, because I said, you know what? Who my friends cannot afford my product, can't afford to join, but who can? And I thought, I've got to find older people. My older people were people who were 30 years old, 35, 40 years old. They had gotten along a little further in life. They had jobs, they had a family, they had, they could afford the product. So now, you know something? When I'm 20, I'm 82 years old now, and I will tell you that all of the people, every one of the people that I sponsored up at that time in that 30, 40, 50-year-old category, guess what? They're dead. They're gone. God created us we've been created to live on earth, whatever time we have. And if we take care of ourselves, we can extend that time. It might be 50 years, 60 years, 70 years, 80 years, as in my case, and I hopefully go to 90 or maybe more. But we have to take care of ourselves. But we all were created to die. The Bible says it's appointed unto us once to die, and after that, the judgment. Well, we're going to die. But while we're here, let's not be afraid. Let's not be afraid. Let's just set our goals, and let's make our life here as comfortable and as uncomfortable and as rich and as productive and as caring and as loving as we can possibly make it. That's what we're here for. We're here to serve the purpose that God gave us, the reason we're here. And it is very clear. It says that we are to love our neighbor, love God with all of our heart, love our neighbor as ourselves, as we love ourselves. Well, in that message, what do I pick out? Love God? Yes, okay. He's the creator. How can you not love the person that created everything and created us as well? And love our neighbor as we love ourselves. Well, who is our neighbor? It's everybody. It doesn't matter what color skin we have, because the Bible also says that from Adam we all have the same blood. No matter how we look on the exterior, we're all from the same bloodline. And so love our neighbor. Our neighbor's everybody. And then science now has even proven through studies at Stanford and also other top universities, including Harvard, they've come out and they've said that if we care for others, we receive a benefit. a physical, healthy benefit. The Bible then covers that. It says it's more blessed to give than to receive. And you know something? Check for yourself. Anytime you've been able to help or to give to someone else, you feel good. You feel good. In fact, you feel good to the point that it's better than if somebody gave you something. You feel better. You feel it's better. The Bible's true. Okay. I recently helped someone that was in need, and they called me back and they said, you know something, I'm going to work hard and I'm going to give you back everything. I said, no, please. I said, very few people know how to give graciously, but even fewer people know how to receive. I said, I receive a blessing because I am able to give you something. And if you give it back, you've taken away my blessing. So don't do that. It's yours. If you want to give somebody something, give it to somebody else. So that, when we have the right attitude and we understand, that even our compensation plan, where we help people by introducing them to a lifestyle, a combination of our not only our supplements, but a formula. Get some exercise, get some rest, monitor and regulate the amount of food you intake. Don't put things in your mouth that are bad for you. Okay, and when we preach this, we are helping other people to learn to take care of themselves. Well, then let's go over to the business, the compensation plan. If we help everyone, and I'm so happy to see other teams. You just mentioned, Bob, the Wisdom Builder team that invites you into their events. And I know, that the Bald Eagle team with Louis Smith and does the same thing. You were recently, I believe, up in the retreat in the mountains with Louis and his team, and they include others. Why? They're helping other people, even though they're not directly compensated or they don't make a profit because you're not in their downline. So this is so important. If you have that attitude of helping others, we're set up to not only feel good and benefit, as Stanford and Harvard have scientifically proven, we're helping others, but we get compensated with money, which helps us to even help others even more. So once we learn that, and once we and realize that there are many, 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 many gifts, and I believe that if we're going to be as successful as God made us able to be, if we reach our full potential, it will be because we discover those gifts that we have been given: comforting others, encouraging others, listening to others, teaching others, okay, telling our story to others. Now, we all have stories, and we all need to just keep doing it, because not everyone will be affected or be listen to us and will benefit. And my immediate family, my first story that did not listen to me is my father. My mother took our supplements, and she was a healthy woman. My father would always call the supplements medicine. Okay. And I would explain to him, this is not medicine. This is food, concentrated, condensed food. And my father would still turn around and call it medicine. I don't like to take that many pills of medicine, right? If I take medicine, I want the doctor to tell me. Well, his whole life, he never took any of the supplements that he watched. He watched the supplements help me. He watched them get my asthma under control where it wasn't a life-threatening experience every year. And he watched me get stronger and healthier as I grew into adulthood. And I will say today at 82, I'm probably healthier than I've ever been in my life at any point. 82, I take no medications. I don't have aches and pains and so on. And I attribute that to just a healthy lifestyle. Okay. And being in this business and being reminded constantly by being in the business, by being in NeoLife, every time I eat something I shouldn't eat, I'm aware of it. Okay. It's like the 10 commandments. If I sin, I'm aware of it. Okay. Now, if now not just the big sins, I can sin by telling a rumor. Okay. Think about this. If I say, hey, I heard that so and so, blah, 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 that's a sin according to the Bible. That's rumor mongering. Gossiping, that's a sin. Okay. Thinking something I shouldn't be thinking. Okay. So I'm a sinner and I'm saved by the grace and forgiveness of God. But, if in this business, in the secular world, this business keeps me on track. If I gain weight, I'm aware of it. If I eat some, I love ice cream. I have a weakness, I tell you. And I know it's not good for me. And in the last week, I've had ice cream 2 times. Okay. If it were up to me, I would have it every night. Okay. If I didn't have some check on it. Okay. But there's certain things I like chocolate. And yet, a little chocolate I can tolerate. But I weighed this morning, I weighed 83 pounds, 183. When I was at my heaviest, and this is maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and I decided I have to bring my weight down. It might even be longer now, but I was 212 pounds. And so I'm 29 pounds down and keeping it off. Well, I'm doing that because this business reminds me and gives me a track in this business is my list of commandments. Do not do or you must do. Okay. And so just by being a part of it, I'm benefiting. And many of you, I hear your stories, and you are benefiting by being a part of it. And my goodness, I can't tell you how proud I am of you as a group. Now, let's go back for a moment. We all have struggles. And when you start with no money and you come up through the ranks and levels of achievement, and you add people to your business, you got to add people to your business. As I pointed out in that short video at convention, if you want more profit, increase your sales and limit and control and lower expenses. Okay, those 2 things, and then the that equals profit, more profit. Well, how do we increase sales? Well, you only do it 2 ways in this business. One is you add customers, you add distributors, and the combination: customers become distributors, distributors become customers. And that combination of your retail or above wholesale sales that you sell directly and what you sell wholesale through your distributors, those profits add up. And you can't just add a few people to your team and then sit back and try to train them and tell them they need to do more. No, you lead by example by continually adding customers, continually adding. Now, there have been times in my life when I got a group together and then proceeded to, I got enough now, I'm just going to train them. Well, I trained them right into the ground, okay? And because I wasn't leading by example. And then I learned, you know, you know, people do as they see you do. They don't do as you tell them or say to do. That's a big lesson. So as we have come along, and by putting a few sales together, borrowed money, of course, from my father, who did not believe and would never take my products till the day he died. Okay, this same man was running a cattle ranch that I had bought for him to run. Okay, and he had cattle. He every year would go out and measure. He'd get the grass that grew naturally. We grew some alfalfa down in the valley, and in the mountains we had just the wild grass. He would go down and have it measured for nutrients. And then he would have the feed store make up a supplement of what's lacking in that grass and alfalfa and wild grass. He'd make a supplement, and he would then feed that to his cattle. Meanwhile, he wouldn't take anything himself. Okay. Crazy. Even his doctor, when he had a stroke, said he found out the doctor was informed, we'll say, in nutrition, and was more of a modern doctor. And he said, if your father had taken your products, and he named C product, just C, vitamin C, he said he most likely would not have had the stroke. That's what the doctor told me, you know. No, yet I tried all the time to get him. He would be irritated when I would try to get him to take the products. Well, you know, that's, so and my son Tony, his problem was not that, it was the weight control. And he weighed 400 pounds for most of his life. And now he's had a heart problem. He's had some damage to his heart. His heart's 40% active. He's 60 years old. And today he weighs only 200, but you know, he's a little bit late coming to the party. So anyway, there's going to be struggles. Struggles is part of it. And when you are struggling, you are having experiences. And Bob reminded me in a text he gave me this morning. He said that Alan Blaine had said something to the effect that you learn more from your trials and tribulations and bad experiences and failures than you do your successes. They hurt more. That's why we learn more. So the problem with experience as a teacher, or the blessing, we'll call it, but the problem is you don't learn until after you have the experience. And so you make the mistake, you endure the pain, and then you learn the lesson, and then you go forward. But you know, just keep on adding on people telling the story, knowing that some of them will not ever believe you or take advantage of what you're trying to do. This is life. And I want to thank you. I'm coming up here on 40 minutes. And so Bob, I really appreciate you including me today. I hope that some of my experiences will help you understand there's nobody that's perfect. And don't try to wait until you get perfect before you talk to somebody. You're not going to get perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not going to be perfect. It doesn't matter, you know. If you mess up a presentation, just go back later and apologize and say, hey, when I talked to you last time, you know, I apologize. I now know more about what I'm doing. I want to talk to you again. And just be persistent, consistent, and find ways to expose our story out to people with an attitude that we are going to love and care about people, and we're going to bring them to a knowledge where they can take better care of their own personal health, better care of their family, and that they can enrich their lives through the compensation plan, building a business that will take care of them for generations to come. thank you so much, and God bless you all. Be safe. Have a safe trip back to your homes. And Bob, I'll give it back to you. And if you want to open up for questions or anything else, I don't have a time limit here. I can have a few more minutes if you like. So thank you.
Okay, we may do that. We are out of time, but I don't mind going over. I've got a few announcements. Jerry, I just want to ask you, is this a confirmed fact? Everyone knows your daughter is gorgeous, radiant, beautiful. Is that a confirmed fact that her good looks came from you?
Yes, yes, definitely.
I remember.
I'm not sure if science has confirmed this, but you know in your heart, right? All I have to do is look at myself, and I know.
I remember the first time you brought her to convention. And you said from the front of the room, everyone could see Kendra's very pretty. You announced very confidently that her good looks came from you.
Yeah. But is it also? I think I would like to confirm the fact that I understand the company's putting out a notice. We'll call it a warning, and it's an all. Everybody's to know that dancing with you at convention could be very dangerous to their health. Okay?
Well, I don't dance, Jerry. I think you know that. So
I could tell.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, just a few more announcements, and then we'll do recognition. And then I think we should take 2 or 3 questions from Jerry. Here's the announcements. First, I want to acknowledge Barbara. Barbara had 7 or 8 from her team at convention. That is outstanding. You guys, let's give Barbara a hand. And Barbara's team, I mean, they had a blast. You could tell when you're talking to them. About 3 or 4 of her team spoke today. So congratulations, Barbara. That is tremendous. Excellent. Then Kendra, Jerry's daughter, will be with us, you guys. The first Saturday of each month, we have this team meeting. Sometimes it's the second Saturday if there's like 4th of July is on first weekend. So, but it's first or second weekend, normally the first weekend of the month. And Kendra will be with us either next month or the month after. We didn't get it nailed down, but she said either next month or the one after. So that's coming up. Then again, our meeting which will start in 30 minutes, is at 963-644-1807 ATP. That is a password. That's all nutrition training. And then Wednesday, you guys, this Wednesday at 5:30 West Coast time, same Zoom ID, and we have a powerful message from Ashley. We didn't have time to play it today, but it's very, very good and highly applicable to make us grow. If you guys don't know, Ashley took her business from zero to 100,000 a month in sales in only 6 months. So we're going to play that message Wednesday at 5:30. Okay, now we're going to go to recognition, and then we'll take 2 or 3 questions from Jerry, and then we'll switch over to the 963-644-1807 Zoom ID. So here's the recognition, and this is important, you guys. We have quite a long list of names here, but for time reasons, I'm only going to read the people who are on the call right now. These are people we're indebted to, we're grateful for, because they contribute to our team impact and success. So for July, Nancy Reese had 1,048 points. Rick and Barbara Bird, 1,201 points. You guys give Rick and Barb, they're on a hand, they're on the call. Then we had Ginny Knowles, 1,366. Brent and Ramona, I think Brent is on here. Brent and Ramona Chichester, that's a famous NeoLife name, Chichester family. 2016, you guys give them a hand. Very big contribution. Then we have Josh and Bethany, we're over 1,000. Give them a hand, Josh and Bethany Fiegels. Then we have Allison Wilson, 2014, very substantial contribution. Then for directors, we have Mark Ritchie in Iowa with 4,005. We're very grateful for Mark. He's an excellent man. Jolene Cox and Dan, they were at convention. Tremendous people from Portland, Oregon. 4,008 points. Then Gina Ellis from Wisconsin. That's Hanson family. 4,023. Give her a hand. Her and Tony. She had 8 of her kids at convention. Lisa Hansen in Mexico with 4,221 points. And then we have in our top 10 directors, Leslie Hansen. This is personal volume. We'll do group volume later. Leslie Hansen, 4,328. Grateful for Leslie. Jean McEwen in New York, 4,412 points. I saw Jean on this call earlier. Then we have Janet and Kevin Cornelius, 4,565 points. Very grateful to have Kevin and Janet coming on with us. Marilee Blomberg, 5,000 points. Victor Pearson, 5,330. Then in our top 5 for personal volume, we have Barbara Chichester in number 5 with 5,589 points. Then Debbie and John, who lead our Southern Oregon group, 5,821 points. Then Jamie and Carol Wilson, who this was Carol's first convention, 6,489 points. And then Stephanie Beckett with 12,213 points. And then we have in number 1 for personal volume, Daniel Hansen with 15,460 points. And Daniel contributes so much to our team in many, many ways, not just volume, but wisdom, excellent customer care, just a savvy person, excellent for counsel to our team and advice to our team. Then for group volume, so thank you, Daniel. Group volume, Barbara Chester in number 6 with 10,001 points. You guys give her a hand. Very dynamic, inspiring leader. In number 5, Debbie Muzak, John Chambers, 12,310 group points. Very grateful for John and Debbie. Number 4, Lisa Hansen, 19,681 points. In number 3, Victor Pearson, 27,544 points. And then Leslie Hansen in number 2, 28,032 points. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you for all you contribute. In number 1, Marilee Blomberg, 60,576 points. So those are people that contributed tremendously to our team's success and impact. We're grateful to every single one. And I am going to turn it over. Normally we would be done, but it is a remarkable privilege to have Jerry on with us. So I think we should take advantage of that. And Marina or Kevin or anybody, you guys have a question you want to ask Jerry and pick his brain a little bit. He's got so much wisdom and experience. Anyone can go for a question.
We must have covered everything.
Josh, do you have any questions, or Barb and Rick or
I'll jump
Jamie?
in.
Okay,
Yeah,
go, Josh.
I'll jump in. Jerry, I'm curious with your years and years of experience. So I'm new to this company, and so I'm trying to learn everything I can. How do you broach the conversation with a new prospect to talk about NeoLife?
Okay, good question, and one that's on most people's minds. And maybe I can let me go into just a little detail here. First of all, there's no like canned or 2-minute talk or 1-minute talk or something that will just fit in to a conversation. And if you're looking for some magic words or something that's going to cause people to do something, that's just not going to happen. And you'll find that if you and we've all gone down that path trying to create something for somebody to say that whether it's 2 minutes of their story or 3 minutes or 1 minute or whatever to do. Listen, remember this: people buy people first. Okay, And by buying people first, until they feel comfortable, they really don't listen to what you're saying. So how do you get people to buy you? And let's see then. Now, remind me again, is it Daniel?
Josh.
Josh. Okay, Josh. Now, Josh, I don't know you, Josh, okay, from a personal basis, except for your comments this morning. So I'm going to give you an example of me meeting you somewhere, and I'll just talk to you, okay?
Yeah.
Hi,
Sure.
Josh. Oh, your name is Josh?
Yeah. Hi, Jerry.
How do you spell that, Josh? Josh?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. And let's see. Wow, how long you got? I used to have a beard like you, but I quit grooming. Mine turned the wrong color, so
Right.
I got rid of it. Okay, it's a long time ago. No, we're just talking, right?
Yeah.
I'm not telling you NeoLife product anything. I'll just stop and comment of what's going on here.
Yeah.
I've just met John. I don't care where it is. It could be anywhere. So where do you live, Josh?
I'm down in Florida.
Oh, you're in Florida.
Yeah.
Wow, I love Florida. I've been there a few times, and I've even thought of moving to Florida. You know, and you guys are lucky down there because when you do make the money, you don't have to pay any
That's right.
federal, any
Yeah.
state tax, right? Is
Yep.
is that why you're there?
Not entirely, but that is a benefit.
Okay, great. Okay. Now notice what I'm doing. I'm not in his face. I'm not in Josh. I'm not his face about anything. I'm visiting. I'm getting
Yeah.
to know Josh. Okay. Now, Josh, let's see then. Are you single or married or what?
Married, have 3 kids.
Wow. How old are your kids?
We've got 2 high school kids, 14 and 16, and then a middle school kid who's 11.
Now, girls or boys?
A boy, a girl, and a boy.
A boy, girl, and a boy. Okay. Wow, that's a great family. That keeps you on your toes.
Yep, certainly.
Yeah. Now so let's see now the oldest. So the oldest one is 16, you said?
Yep.
So is that a girl or a boy?
He's my son.
Your son. And does he drive?
And not yet. He's got his learner permit, and he's very excited to learn to drive. So
Okay, wow.
teach him more.
Well, once he gets his permit and gets his car, that'll take a lot of your responsibility of being the chauffeur for all these kids' social activities, right?
That's right.
Okay. Now notice, step aside here. Notice what's happening. I'm not like, what do you say to people who you meet, right? Now, you see what's happening? I'm just getting to know you, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm not jumping in and telling you how'd you like to make some money, blah blah blah. All that stuff is BS. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Does not work. Okay. So now what I'm doing with you right now, Josh, you know how to do. You know how to do it. And now at some point, now let's see then. Wow, sounds like a great family, but you know what? You don't look old enough to have a 16-year-old kid. What's going on here, John? How are you staying so young?
Well, I appreciate that. Well, I wear a hat, so see, it makes you look younger. Then
That helps. Yes. That Josh, that
He's
don't
married to a supermodel, Jerry.
let your natural beauty shine, Josh. Don't take the hat off again, Josh.
Wow, you almost look like you, Jerry.
You know what? You have a perfect shaped head. You're lucky, you know. Now, you see, I am just visiting with Josh, right? And it's 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever. But now right now, Josh will start to himself. He's going to say, he's kind of interesting old guy, right? Or something. He'll have a thought about me. He's not afraid of me because I'm non-threatening. I'm just having fun. So Josh, I mean, I have a product that grows hair. Are you interested?
100%. Sign me up.
Okay. No. You know what, Josh? I'll tell you something. Seriously. Now here comes the serious. Okay. Seriously. And by the way, this may not be the case. Okay. If I find somebody has difficult personality, obviously their life is so crusted over with 20 years of negativity, I don't want to invite them to be part of. I'm interviewing you to see if you're somebody I'd like to know better and I'd like to have in my team. I don't want I don't want, I can come up with words that would describe the kind of person I don't want, but I won't use them here in a group setting. Okay. I do not want difficult, negative people in my team. I've learned, by the way, my experience over the years is that even if I convince somebody who is totally negative, it's not worth it, because they also getting over, if they spent 20 years getting convinced that the life is terrible and that there's no chance to succeed and everybody's against them, and if they don't sound right, I don't want them. Okay. So, but now with my conversation with you today so far is I like your I'm going to say something to you, Josh. You have a good sense of humor and you are sincere and you have a good attitude.
Thank you.
I have something I want to show you sometime. Okay. I like to show you because you fit right into what I'm doing. Okay. All right. That's it.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Okay. And as many times now, you see, now I have tried, in my years, I tried the wrong way and the wrong way and the wrong way and the wrong way. And I tried everything from how'd you like to make a lot of money? I tried, let me talk about your health. I find that that's not a good approach. And it's not that it's not a good approach. It's just that along there, I could have said, if I'm selling products to you, I could have said, what are you doing? And you obviously, what kind of a diet do you eat? Just to let me know, because you seem to be taking care of yourself. What do you eat? And do you eat a breakfast in the morning, or do you have lunch? What do you do? What do you eat in the morning?
Oh, I have the breakfast solution. Is what I do.
Okay, but now and before that, what did you eat?
Oh, I ate granola bars and Red Bull.
Okay, well, that'll give you some energy, but it also has side effects that you don't want long term. Not, the granola bar might be okay, but are you consciously doing anything that makes up for the deficiency in food so your body stays healthy? I mean, a question like that. I remember going out with Emma Jo Krause, God bless her soul, she's gone on, but she's almost embarrassing me. We were in Australia, and people were lined up to get on an airplane, and there's a lady in front of me, and then myself, and then Emma Jo Krause was behind me, and she's talking to this lady around me and saying, ma'am, can I ask you, what are you doing about your cellular nutrition? That's before she said hello, right? Now, to me, that's kind of but you know what? It works. She sold a lot of product, and people would say, what do you mean cellular nutrition? And then she's off into some explanation. So it is not what you say, it's that you say something to somebody. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you don't go, trying to go to training and listening and whatnot and trying to pick up the perfect thing to say is like if you want to learn to swim, you're sitting on the side of the pool and you're taking a class over and over and over. You go get in class every day about how to swim. Well, I can tell you, once you get out of that class, you've been in that class for one day or for 1 month or for 1 year. When you get in the pool, same thing's going to happen to you. You're going to get mouthful of water. You're going to choke. You're going to come up. You're going to be too stiff to stay on top of the water. All kinds of things will happen to you, but it's the experience that will teach you to swim, not the class. And so we can be encouraged and how to set the framework, how to set the goals, how to do all these things. But getting to know somebody and see, I used to have a goal of 10 per day. And every time I talked to somebody, I even had 10 beans. I would like pinto beans I put in my pocket, and every time I talked to them, I throw one away. Okay. Now,
yeah,
I would even find myself cheating. If I was talking to one person and somebody's overhearing what I'm saying, I throw away 2. Okay. Just to get finished so I could go home. And I learned that these are not 10 presentations. These are 10 hellos.
Mm.
And let's say that I got to visit with 3 or 4 of the 10, just to visit. Okay. Well, in a week, that gives me, if it's 6 days a week, it gives me 18 or 20, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, with 20 people that I kind of know because I spent 2-3 minutes, even 4 or 5 minutes, just visiting with, and then I'm going to go home with the names, and then I try to get the names. Hey, you know what? I like you, and here's my information. Give me your number. Give me your card. Give me something. Where do you go? Blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In that conversation, I can talk about where my kids go to school, where your kids go to school, where if I go to church, where do I go? Movies I've seen lately, books I've read, restaurants I go to. This is where the relationship starts to build. And then out of that 20 people, I can get a couple of 3 or 4 presentations in at some point. Okay. But you'll have so many people stacked up on lists of names that you won't know what to do with. Okay.
Wow.
And so it's that number. And this, you ask a great question. I hope somebody can benefit from it.
That was phenomenal. Thank you very much.
Who else has a question? You guys, it's quite a privilege to be on with Jerry. So Marina, do you have one?
Yeah, just the one I always ask, which I always feel like I have to get it from the top people because they're the ones who seem to have figured it out. But that is just, the Bible says so many times, fear not. What is like your best practical advice for just not being afraid, being confident, and being willing to share? Overcoming.
Well, okay. Well, first of all, I believe that anybody that tells you they do not fear, they also are violating the commandment, thou shalt not lie. Okay. So there is no getting over fear. Okay. There is, look, when I never get in front of a group that I don't experience doubt or fear before I get on a stage, we'll say. There's always something in my stomach just when I introduce myself to somebody like I just did with Josh and by the way, I was just asking you, Josh, I would be volunteering stuff about myself too along the way, but very little about me, because you know, you'll go away saying, if I just let you do all the talking, you'll say, wow, Jerry, he's a good conversationalist, right? So, and you did all the talking. So, but the fear, back to the fear, you have to make up your mind that you want something bad enough that you're going to do what you need to do while you're afraid. And then the fear will subside, 2 or 3 minutes into something, the fear's gone. So, you all have children, or you've known children, or you can remember when you were a child. I can remember teaching Kendra to ride a bicycle. She was afraid, but she wanted to learn to ride the bicycle bad enough that she would get on it, and I would kind of hold her, let her go a little bit. When I let loose, she was back and forth and then fall and skin her knees. And this was before we had adequate knee pads and all the protection that we put on kids today. But, but little by little, I remember teaching her to surf, and at 5 years old, and we'd go out in the ocean and all the waves were over her head. Okay. Well, but she was afraid and she didn't want to do it. And then I would give her a little push and get her going. She'd fall off and tumble. I taught her how to protect herself if she fell and come up, and she was choking and spitting out salt water. But you know what? You do what you are afraid to do, and then the fear goes down. But you know something? I love to surf, and I haven't surfed now for about 2 years, but I'm going to go back to Hawaii and I'm going to take up surfing again. I'm going to surf. I love it. Okay. Just being out there. But I can tell you right now, before I go out there, having surfed for many years, I will be apprehensive. I'll be a little bit fearful. Will I be able to catch the wave this time? Will it thrash me and all that, or will I? What'll happen? So anything I do, I have a certain nervousness, and it's natural because it's fear of the unknown. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if I'll remember the subject I'm going to talk about. Okay. Before I talk to you today, I prayed that God would, with the Holy Spirit, would give me words to say to you that would be meaningful, and then I thank him for that. And so there's no such thing as getting away from fear. There's having enough courage that you will go ahead and do something while you're fearful, because you want the reward more than to be crippled by the fear.
Thank you.
Rick or Barb, you guys are growing. Do you have any question, or Jamie, or Alion, or Mark?
I do.
Okay,
Rick
go
does.
for it.
My question is when you're talking to somebody and you do get their attention towards it and you introduce them to the products, do you bring up the business at the same time?
It just depends. I mean, I'll give you an example. Okay, let me just think for a moment here. Let's see. I've recently it changes in different times of my life. Now, because I'm as healthy as I am at my age, I get a lot of people that I meet. When they kind of find out about me a little bit, they what do you do to, they want to know what I do to be as healthy as I am at my age. Okay, so that's easy. I find selling products today easier than at any time. I find that people that have lost a lot of weight, they get inquiry, how'd you do that? And wow, and yeah, I feel so much better and everything else. So it leads into the products. I find that I've always found that the products have to be there when you are, even if you're going to talk about the business, the products have to be there. You know, products are the rails that the business train runs on, and without it, you don't have, where in the end, our business is selling products, okay, and so if we don't talk about products and the benefits, we are not going to we're not going to be as effective. So, and we only products that we can sell is products that are consumable, and they're going to be used on our skin or whatever, or they're going to be swallowed. And so that is, and the more people we get using our products and buying those products, that's how our business grows. And at some point, our business has a life of its own. And so talking about making a lot of money or some money, in most cases, you're going to be up against a little negativity, because it will not be the first opportunity that somebody's presented to someone, and they'll have a sort of, most likely have a negative connotation. So I have people, and also if I know someone is a totally busy, they don't have time, they have a great, I skip the business thing and just go to the products, and then hopefully at some point in the future, if they find that they just talk to other people about the products, that and then pretty soon they realize, this happens so many thousands of times, where people realize that, what did I get this check for? What happened? I don't even know what I do, and it's explained to them. Then they come along. But if you go by numbers, like I was telling you earlier, how to get a lot of people and names in play at some stage, and then you pick and choose among those as, hey, listen, I met you the other day or whatever, and then you just lead. And there's no rule. There's no rule of how much product you talk about, how much opportunity you talk about. I find that when people start believing in the product and hearing about the product, they will, even if they've just started, they'll say, oh yeah, I can see people are buying a lot of those products around. I see them advertised all the time, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I say, well, that's it. I mean, it's a big business, and there's a way for you to benefit from that, and then you go into it, But you don't want to say financially, blah, 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 and then get into a bunch of circle drawing. This is you, and this is me, and this is a percentage here and a percentage there, and you do this, you take away that. All you do is it just goes right over their head and does more damage than good. Okay, there's a progression that people go through to get to where they say, you know what, this sounds like something I could do and may want to do. And so to me, I hope that answers your question. But there's no, I mean, if somebody comes up and says, hey, I'm looking for opportunity and blah, 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 sure, right into it, the whole ball of wax. But main thing is expose yourself to as many people telling your story and learning their story. You're not there just to tell your story, because if you only talk about your story and you don't hear their story, at some point they just want you to shut up. Okay, they've heard enough.
Okay, well, thank you.
Mark, Mark Ritchie, or Alion, or Barbara Chester, or John and Debbie. I think we should wrap it up 1 or 2 questions because we're over time. But did any of you 4 want to ask a question while we have great resource, Jerry, being willing to let us ask questions?
I have a question, Bob, for Jerry.
Okay.
Jerry, when the company started back in the early days, and the company formulated the 3NN, could you talk a little bit about the difficulty that you guys had in showing the NeoLife difference at that particular point in time? I'm wondering, the people weren't really open to nutrition, and the whole idea of vitamins was a new concept.
Well, the vitamins were around in crude forms, and there was, the popular belief was that there was no difference between synthetically made and naturally made, and there was never a time, I don't feel, that there was problem showing the difference, because once you 3NN came with a difference, because what happened was there was research done, and there was, because of the deficit, the lack of essential oils in the diet. Okay, this happened when I was a kid, because I can remember my mother had in the kitchen, she had a flour bin. Okay, she would put flour in, and in her flour bin, it was normal that there were these little tiny little black beetles. She called them flour beetles, and she had a sifter. So when she would make bread or this or that, she would take something out of the bin and have these little tiny, like the size of a flea or something, and she would sift them, and the flour would go down and the bugs would stay behind. Now, that was very common because at that time, the flour contained oils, okay, and it had a short shelf life, or shorter, and as a result, it was nutritious for these beetles. And so what happened, in order to extend the shelf life and keep the oils from going rancid, then they extracted the oils. So the oils today are missing in the products you buy, the wheat, soy, and rice and so on products. Okay, they're for the most part missing. And 3NN, people were diagnosed as, now these are called essential oils, meaning that you must have them in your diet. You have to have them in order to have your body and systems and glandular activities and everything work right. So there was some research done, and they determined that maybe you could put these oils back in the diet, and so the early 3NN was given to some people, and they noticed dramatic improvement in glandular activity. Well, your glands control everything about your body, a temperature, heart rate, blood pressure, you name it. Your glandular activity, it controls the release of insulin. It's all glandular. Okay, when your glandular activity goes sideways, menstrual problems and headaches and all kinds of things go wrong. Well, they found that the 3NN on its own was very helpful, beneficial. So then Don Pickett decided that he needed more more nutrients in the products. And so he came up, he included the TreaN in the product Formula 4. And it was then he naturally went in the direction of whole food products that these nutrients came from. And just his belief. Arthur First came on board back in the day. He was sort of he was the scientific advisory board. So he and Don Pickett, who was the original founder of the NeoLife product, then they together worked on it. And then other doctors, Dr. Fred Hooper, and some others were added on to they didn't call it the SAB at that time. And so, but little by little, and Dr. Arthur First's interest in NeoLife came because he had invented chemotherapy, okay? And he was a professor at Stanford, at University of San Francisco, teaching multiple disciplines. You know, he was a very educated man. And so, and he told me, he said, someday the chemotherapy treatment for cancer will be looked at as a barbaric treatment. It is now. He said it's a poison. We measure your life sustaining activity in your blood, and we give you all we can give you of a poison that kills the cancer, but at the same time it kills your life. It's anti-life, okay? And so then we measure it again, and then we give you all you can take again, and we measure again all you take again. So as you start off with chemotherapy, the dose keeps going down, 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 and they give a break for your health in your blood and everything to come back, so you can take some more. Well, he looked at nutrition as an answer for building back people after that treatment. So that was so there was always a difference. And then when my brother Bob and I and Golden Products, when we were able to buy a part of NeoLife, because NeoLife, when I got introduced to the NeoLife supplements in the late 60s, I became a customer. And although nutritional products had helped me a lot, when I got on the NeoLife products, it was like a whole new level of benefit. Okay, something I hadn't experienced before. And so then, besides a customer, we had NeoLife Manufacturing Company. We made a deal that they would make our products. Okay, they wouldn't make them the same as like Formula 4, and I named mine Formula 5. Okay, so that was just 5's better than 4. But anyway, it wasn't. But that's what I said. Okay. Anyway, that's how it happened. So we always had the difference. And then the formal SAB was put together when my brother Bob and I were able to buy the rest of the NeoLife company. Then we then formalized the board and put Dr. Arthur First in charge, and then added a whole host of disciplines and expertise, and then have stayed ahead of the game, as far as quality, and we bake that into the products. And so today the differences are, well, it's difficult to explain all the benefits and differences that exist, but we're lucky to have the SAB. We follow their advice. It's a scientific advisory board, but if they advise us strongly on something, we don't we don't go against them. Okay. And as I told you about the product, earlier today.
Very good. Very good. Thank you. Jerry, that was Brent, who is Barbara's little brother.
Okay. Well, hello, little brother.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, listen, I think we should wrap it up, guys. I don't want to keep you all day. We'll do it again. Bob,
Okay.
Anytime that you can work me in and I have the time, I'm here for you. Okay.
Okay. We appreciate it greatly, Jerry. You guys, let's give him a big hand. Gratitude.
Thank you. Thank you all. Great session.
Really enjoyed it tremendously, Jerry. You have a wonderful day. We'll look forward to another time. And thank you so much, Jerry.
Okay. Bye-bye. Bye.
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 Thank you.
John, Tim. We'll see you guys on the other call, 963-644-1807, password ATP. I'm going to go right over there now. Bye, guys. Thank you, Jerry.
What is that number? 963 what?
It's 963-644-1807, and password is ATP.
Okay, I don't know that I can join in, but thank you. Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Hi, guys.
Hi. Bye.
Trying to get up here.
Mr. Brasfield, we really appreciated that. There he goes. That was great.
Somebody's sharing a screen.
Yeah.